In a peaceful village, there lived a young man who was always dissatisfied with his life. Every day he complained about different things, whether it was the weather that was too hot, the constant rain, or the harvest that was not as good as the previous year. For him, there was always a reason to complain. One morning, the young man sat under a big tree near the rice fields. He complained again, this time about his bad luck. Suddenly, a wise old grandfather came and sat beside him. The grandfather smiled gently and asked, "Why are you complaining again, young man?" The young man replied irritably, "I'm tired, Grandpa. Life is so difficult. Nothing goes according to plan. I feel like I never get what I want." The grandfather listened quietly, then took the young man for a walk around the village. They passed fields, rivers, and small forests. Along the way, the grandfather pointed out many simple things: birds chirping, the sun rising behind the mountains, and flowers blooming by the roadside. The grandfather then said, "Look around you. There is so much beauty and good in this world. However, if you only focus on what you don't have, you will miss out on all the happiness that is actually right in front of your eyes." The young man was silent. He began to realize that he had been too busy complaining to see the good things around him. The grandfather continued, "Time is a precious gift. Every second you spend complaining is a second wasted. Time doesn't come back, and you can't change what has already passed. Instead of complaining, use your time to do something useful." The grandfather's words moved the young man. He returned home with a different mind. From that day on, he stopped complaining. Whenever he felt dissatisfied, he remembered the wise old man's words and began to look for the positive side of his situation. With his new attitude, the young man's life changed. He became happier and more content. He began to realize that happiness is not about having everything we want, but about appreciating what we already have and using our time wisely. Eventually, the young man became a role model in his village. People saw the change in him and were inspired to follow in his footsteps. They learned that complaining will get them nowhere, but positive actions and gratitude can make their lives more meaningful. And thus, the valuable lesson from this story: don't waste your time complaining, because every second that passes is an opportunity to make your life better.